Welcome back to another episode of Let Me Be Frank podcast with myself, Simon Houston, Frank McAvenny, and really special guest this week. We've got Charlie Miller.
All right,
Rangers 9-in-a-row legend, and man of many clubs.
I think a few people say Bellend, but anyway.
Well, it's up to you how you want to describe yourself. So you guys are heading off on a wee trip fairly soon.
Yes, we're going to Dubai.
Yep.
It's a Scotland-England thing.
Aye.
So
who you playing for?
It's a three tournaments in it, really. It's play football, play golf, and then there's a drinking competition. We always win two. We always win the golf and the drinking.
To be fair, but the golf is a bit... Some of the gimmies are like in the bunker and all that. Just take that. That's a birdie.
Aye. We're not talking like straight R&A rules or anything.
No,
definitely not.
No man.
You see the state of this golf course after a week him off as well.
It's brilliant.
So what do you do first? Do you get the football out of the way first? And then...
No, golf first, and then there's a dinner at night, which I'm speaking at, so it'll be good. Yeah.
Well, very good. Excellent.
The Thursday's just when we arrive, that's just
a blur.
We get into the pool and we just drink all day in the pool, daiquiris and whatever, cocktails, and then the pool always seems to get that bit higher. People sitting there for 8 hours. Right, okay. End up coming out with a prune.
So it's a good trip. It's a good trip. So I've not been for 4 years.
This is my 14th year.
I know.
Me and Andy McLaren.
He goes every year.
I've been every one. The goalie had been every one until he passed, unfortunately. Andy Bonham.
It's good fun. Me and Coyce were playing. McCoyce were and we were playing up front.
Twin strikers,
and it was God rest the goalie. Right. The goalie shouting for the side. He's never seen two holding strikers before.
Deep line strikers. You imagine playing in midfield behind them.
Oh, they were passages were going on the feet. Aye, Robbie Winters passed to me and it went by me and he ran by me to get it.
If you're talking about a severe lack of movement up top, that was it.
And what sort of English names would we recognise? Usually the same kind of.
Gareth Barry's been our last 2 or 3 years.
Aye.
Myself, Lee Hendry, Andy McLaren, Seth Johnson. I've been to everyone. Yeah. Seth Johnson and Lee Hendry, great lads. So are all English boys are great lads. I think Michael Gray's. I don't think he's gone this year. I think he's injured. Mikey.
Is that right?
So it'll be Hendo. We used to have Paul Walsh, Teddy Sheringham, Sharp.
Is it all sponsored then? Is there someone that's putting their hands in their pocket to pay for all this?
Big Derek Way works out there and the sponsors bring all the boys over. You know, and it's Jeb Ali, got to give him a mention.
So you're going over in a Let Me Be Frank fact-finding mission to maybe get a sponsor for us? Well,
Jeb Ali sponsored me with Mark Hall, so might get a wee sponsor for the podcast.
That's a good idea. So if anyone's maybe getting married or something like that,
take the boys over for a trip to Dubai, have a talk to them.
Aye,
just for a meeting.
I will see if I can clear my diary for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get talking about this. So, Charlie, thanks very much for joining us.
No problem.
It's brilliant, really, really good. Loads of great stories to ask you all about. Glittering career. How did you guys first get to know each other? Was it through the kind of Dubai
football, really, innit?
Probably through the goalie, more than anything.
Goalie, probably
through the goalie.
So I'm just thinking, when you were like, as a teenager, I'm thinking, when did you stop playing? About 95?
96, yeah.
But you maybe when
I made my debut in 93.
Aye. You were playing. I played against you. You too, sir. I don't know if it was Dundee United. When we at Dundee United?
2001.
Oh no, I wasn't around.
2000, 2004. I was at Rangers. 93. I made my debut. And then, but you were in England then, you know?
No, you came back up 94.
I was Falkers and Munn.
The very brief spell at Partick Thistle, which lasted about 8 seconds, but we won't talk about that because we've spoken about every other episode. But
that was very nearly signed.
So would have been Liam Brady. So 95.
And then it was McCarry, wasn't it? McCarry.
Nah, I was just too young then, I think. Because when I was playing, it would have been Tommy. I think Tommy was the man.
Aye, well, it was wee Durante and that was the midfield for.
Durante, I played with Durante Coiste, obviously, but as I say, 93, Coiste broke his leg 92, so I didn't really play with Coiste that much for the first year I kind of broke in. It was Mel Laudrup and Gascoigne. Well, Gascoigne came in the year later after I'd made a full season. I'm in Tenerife, playing centre of the park, and then the news is that Rangers are saying Gazza. I thought, I'll just get Young Player of the Year. What's happening here? So, Gazza right in there with a blonde hair. And then,
not a lot you can do when players like that sign.
It's difficult, but
I know.
He's what we needed something as well, a wee to ignite us a wee bit, maybe getting a wee bit stale. But
in the dressing room.
No, we didn't need that. That was a nutcase. Poor Alec Cleland, man. Gazza used to wear the Versace suits. He'd look at Michael at the first day and he'd have it on for 3 or 4 days. And then Alec Clement, immaculate wee Alec. Honestly, every 3 or 4 days, Gazza would leave his Versace suit and take Alec Cleland's suit and go out with it. And Alec Cleland, he'd bring it in the next 2 or 3 days later, all dry cleaned and that, and then Gazza would just leave Alex in a heap. Full of wine and you name it, kebab sauce and all that. So that was typical of that. No, oh, what a human being.
You must have spent quite a bit of time on the pitch with Gazza as well then, did you?
Aye.
Yeah.
Spent quite a bit of time adoring him for the side as well.
I know.
But I was fortunate. I played with some great players. Stuart McCall, what an underrated football player he was. He was a groundsman's nightmare because he loved a slide tackle, but Stuart McCall was a brilliant player. Durante I loved. He growing up was my man. I wanted to kind of play similarly, and then playing with Laudrup. What a phenomenon! And Haley was unbelievable. People don't realise how good the big man was.
Yeah.
No, he does. He tells you.
Aye.
He was our first guest in the podcast.
It was, yes.
Aye, he was brilliant.
Aye, good lad. Seen him last week.
Playing with Goffey and the goalie and all that. These type of players. It was internationals everywhere, and it was tough, but you had to work to get in, and it was good to. 17, I made my debut. Oh, aye, great training session. We didn't coach. We just went out and played, and then we'd have a go. Well, the older ones would have a go at each other if it wasn't going right in the pitch. You know what it's like yourself. That's what kind of dressing room takes care of itself. The good ones anyway. And I was very fortunate to be brought up that way. For 11-year-old, Rangers were always expecting to win at any level. So that was a good mentality we had.
Do you think that's missing in the game now?
Probably. I don't think you can get in people's faces anymore, like coaches and things like that.
I'm talking about the players should be doing it. They should manage themselves. I just can't handle people that don't. They lose it, get it back, and then argue. But get it back first, you know.
You have to.
People don't say anything to each other, you know. And I mean, when I played, Mick McCarthy would have had me by the throat. Tommy, Roy, they wouldn't let me away with that if I kept losing the ball, you know, or no running for it.
It's
a standard that
it's a different level now, I think. But everybody says it's like the 70s said they were better than the 80s, the 80s said they were better than the 90s, 90s said they were better than the thousands, and on and on and on. And that's the way football is. We always think the decades we played or whenever we played was obviously the best one. But I think at the moment, Rangers personally, obviously, love to see them winning, but there's just no that winning mentality for a lot of them at the moment, unfortunately. And their home form's the same as Celtics. It's incredible. They've got a great home form, and just the terrible away form's absolutely killing us.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say they got. This is obviously going out Thursday morning. So Man United Rangers tonight. How do you see that going?
Well, it'll probably suit us going down to Man United. So. Man United will open up. We'll kind of be hard to break down, and we'll hit them in the counter. And Man United at the moment, he's just said it's the worst team in history. It was a big thing to say that.
That's the fact that he's having to go to the team. He's not far wrong.
No,
I mean, he's wrong, but
that's the way you get the players run about you, innit? That's the way you get the players backing you up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But that'll test whether they, what sort of what their character's like. If they hear that and they don't respond, then he's right.
But the players in the dressing room down at Man United, some of the players are just, they love themselves and they don't want. I mean, when Ronaldo went there, and he was in there and he came out with a statement saying they would rather watch Love Island than football. You know, and what a statement that is. But what a statement.
I've never watched Love Island.
They don't care about football, basically, he said.
It's the money that run is incredible. It's incredible. Some of the money it's going about, but some of the kids who aren't even playing first team are getting more money than me and you probably got in their probably entire career. And they've even made a debut or whatever, you know, but that's the way football is, and it's a great chance to make a great life, definitely. And some people kind of show that they're great, and then next minute 300 grand's getting thrown at them, and then it's a cigar out, and I would have been dead after a year.
I mean, I'd have been beside you.
I'd probably been retired after a year.
Which brings us on to something I want to ask you. Before I forget, keep a reminder, as ever, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. It's on the screen below you.
Numbers are great, but just keep pressing the subscribe.
Follow us on all the social media channels. And also, I have to remember, there's people listening too. You're not all watching on YouTube. There's folk driving along listening. So if you're not watching and you're just listening at the moment, we all look fabulous, don't we?
Oh, great. Yeah, every week.
Aye, superb.
I've got a big pumpkin head.
Now, there was a saying, I don't know if this is true or not, it's an urban myth, but that Rangers 9 in the road team, was there a saying that a team that drinks together wins together? Is that right?
Well, every Tuesday we'd be out. Unfortunately, I was only 18 and I wasn't really a big drinker, but that changed very quickly. And then I was out more days than I should have been. But every Tuesday we'd get into 3-4 minute runs or something like that. And then that was us. It's maybe the steps into the district for a couple, then into Steps Bar. And that was... nearly every player was out. Some people obviously couldn't go out some days or whatever, family reasons or whatever, but that's when I went to the district and Gazza was immaculate this day, and we're in the district sitting having a few beers, and there's a wee woman, remember wearing Timberland jumpers on, a grey one with a blue writing. I think everybody in Glasgow had them, and she's like, Gazza, give your shirt. So Gazza's like, no, fuck up, and he keeps on, she keeps on going to him and then ends up going, oh, here, take it. So she gave him a Timberland jumper. So he's got a Timberland jumper on. And we're back to David Currier, who's passed away, unfortunately, and his BMW. He was driving us into the steps. And the jumper was smelling of BO. It was terrible. Like, guys, fling it out the window or something like that. So he flings it out the window and he flings David Curry's headrest out with it and thinks that's funny. David Curry's like, what are you doing? So that's along Paisley Road West. And then we're getting into the town. There's a Sue Ryder shop right across from the Radisson. I don't know, I think it's a hotel now. And Gazza goes, stop. Gets out the car, ties into the Sue Ryder shop and comes out with a dress on. We're like, what the hell, you're nutcase? Just jumps in the motor and thinks nothing ate, and that was him. The rest of the day, sat in the Steps Bar with a dress on. It was...
So he started all this.
It was mental. You know him anyway, you know what he's like.
Who were the real ringleaders, apart from Gazza, obviously, who were the real ringleaders when they came to nights out and all that stuff?
Durante and Coiste. Coiste would never be there on time right enough. He was late for anything, that guy. But with a good mechanism, Big Oz and that, the younger ones, we used to kind of a battle with the older ones. And Stuart McCall, drunk after 3 drinks, but would just stay the same way.
Keep that same level.
Aye,
that's
drunk,
a skill to have that.
It's a skill, innit?
Drunk for 22 hours.
What about likes of Loudrop though? Was he a big
Loudrop liked his wine, the goalie.
Aye.
Probably, the goalie stole his
Stole his wine on.
600 quid a bottle.
Invited him out to
Denmark.
Denmark.
So carry on,
Invited him out to Denmark. He said him and they were pals, and he says he invited me over, and they were going to Tiddly World or something.
They've gone to
his family, they'd go with every family. And he says, going to Tiddly World, and he says, on you go. He says, I'll stay here. And so he's watching Loudrops. He loves watching Loudrops. He's got his tapes out and he's watching. He's got a nice wee glass of wine. And then he done one and downstairs and got I'll get 2, and he brought 2 up. And then that was finished. So he looked in the corner and there's 6 in the corner. And he took 2 of them up and he's done one. He's halfway through the other. And they came back. And Loudrop's going, goalie, no. He says, well, what? He says they're worth
600 quid a bottle. 600 quid a bottle.
But only if they're in the 6.
Aye.
I know what
they've got to be part
He's
of
going, no, and Goalie's going, oh, he's well finished. They never invited him back.
Oh, dear.
That was the end of his friendship.
Tivoli Gardens it was.
Tivoli Garden, aye.
There was a story you were telling earlier before we started recording about golfing in Dubai as well.
Oh, the goalie was brilliant.
Aye.
The boys loved the goalie. The goalie was a special guy, and he was a nutter, but he had a heart of gold. And it was.
Remember the shoes?
Oh,
they are there. Sorry.
Red Pumas are there.
Are they?
They bought these red Pumas in Hong Kong about 10 years ago, maybe more, and they wore them everywhere. Red Pumas with white socks and kind of 3/4 length shorts, and they looked ridiculous. And then, but on the golf course, it's at 9 holes, so we got on the golf course twice. The goalie's already got a lovely bottle of 60 quid wine at lunch. We're having lunch before we go into the golf course, and the goalies went, "Can I get 2 bottles of red for going on the golf course?" And I said, "Is every 3 or 4 holes you get to the clubhouse where you can get another beer or whatever."
Yeah.
I'm saying, bloody hell, goalie, take it easy. And then, so the goalie goes, "Give me 2 bottles of red for round the course," and the guy comes out with 4 glasses. He went, "No, you only need 1 glass." And the other, his golf partners are carrying the goalie's wine onto the buggy for him. And the goalie's like, "Cheers." But he was...
He's some boy.
He was.
Aye, he was, that was when he was shouting. He was just unbelievable shouting at us.
He was.
It was pretty good when he leave the place, because it was all inclusive when he leave the hotel. Miserable sod. When he leaves, we all get out.
To be fair, he's got a point.
So a big part of your career, well, obviously you played in Norway and Belgium, Dundee United. Very successful, 3 years at Dundee United as well.
Well, I went there with, I think, with 2 points in November. I left Watford. Watford was a bit hard time. Graham Taylor, although a nice guy, it wasn't work. It didn't work out for us, to be honest with you. And I just wanted him. And I ended up at Dundee United. Alex Smith, who's a great man, love him to bits. He took me up to Dundee, and we ended up finishing with about 36 points, and we'd actually done well from November onwards. So Alec got my cell in, and with a few boys came back for injury and things like that. Signed a wee boy, Beto Naveda, for Argentina, great wee player. And then it was funny because me and him were doing our press conference together when we arrived at Tannadice. The two of us arrived the same day, and they're asking him about Claudio Caniggia. And he's like, if you want to, because he played with Caniggia in Argentina, and he said, if you want to speak about Claudio Caniggia, go over the road and ask him yourself. I'm here to talk about Dundee United. He was brilliant right away, and his English was perfect. So, but me man done his knee in about the third or fourth game, and it kind of halted him. And then, but a great boy, good time at Dundee United.
And you were there, and you got your Scotland cap when you were.
I got my Scotland cap. The whole 67 minutes of magic in Poland. I think nobody else wanted to go. But me, Andy McLaren, and it was good. And two boys for Castlemont make my debut together, and it gets us a trip to Dubai every year. So that was
under Craig Brown, I think, wasn't it? Was that towards the end of Craig Brown?
Craig Brown and Archie Knox, my assistant manager at Rangers, and but Archie was mental. But it was good to get the cap, but it probably should have been earlier and more before.
I would have thought more because you were
before then anyway.
Who were you up against then? You start up against
McStay, McCall, Durant, McAllister, Collins. You could go in.
People say to me I only get 5, but the strikers I was up against was incredible. You know, Kenny was still playing when I playing in McCoy, Johnson, Charlie Nick. I mean, it was just Graham Sharp who was scoring goals for fun in England. So there was loads of me. David Speedy, who was at Chelsea, scored most of the goals.
I suppose you've got to pull on your country's top, you know. So
100%, and it was great. And as I say, to date with my mate for Castlemont, Andy McLaren, it was good for the two to get it. I've got one cap between us. I've got 67. I think he got on for 23. But there we go.
I want to talk about Australia as well, because as things stand, Big Ange he's having a tough old time down in England at the moment. But you played under him briefly at Brisbane.
Briefly, yeah. Well, me, Bob Malcolm, and Craig Moore were over there. Craig had asked me to come over, and I loved every minute. And Bob Malcolm came over. And me, us three, and we Danny Teattle played with Man City and Leicester. We used to stay in the Gold Coast, what a place. And we used to travel up 45 minutes every day, leave at 5:30 in the morning, because we'd train at maybe 7:30, 7 to maybe 9, and then we'd be finished. So we'd drive down the road, and before we know it was 11 o'clock, 11:30, the pubs were just opening, the restaurants were just opening. And it used to be rock, paper, scissors to see who got a lunch. Oh, it was a doing as well, because we used to go to this place, George's. It was on the seafront. It was beautiful, but it was a fortune. You're like, please win. Before you know it, you're $400 or $500 down. You're like, ah, shit. But I played under Ange, and short time. I played one game, and then he kind of fell out. He did fall out with him and Craig Moore, and Craig Moore fell out right away, the first meeting. And then that was me. I wasn't interested in playing because Craig was wanting to play in the World Cup as well, and he was going to go to Greece with Kavala, played just to get, because obviously the Australian season finishes in March, I think it was. So Craig was going to go to Kavala, and he wasn't coming back because of Ange and him didn't go on, and he fell out with Danny Teattle, and he wanted Ridley Bob as well, but he wanted me to play, and then I'd kind of nah. But
you said you met him. Did you?
It was incredible. He ended up winning 2 league titles with Brisbane, done great, and then they obviously went to Japan. But I was at Frank McGavis, who I've known for a long time, and I went just to show, obviously, for Frank, you know, and I met Ange, and I said, you're doing too good a job up here, bloody stop it, you know. And he's like, you should have stayed with me for another month at least. I said, probably, but friendship's worth more than...
I know.
What age were you when you went to Brisbane?
I think it was 2008, so... 32.
Right, okay.
32, so...
And how would you describe your playing style? Would it have worked all right with Ange Ball?
It probably would have, because he liked somebody in behind the striker or the two strikers and things like that. And I done an interview, a podcast during lockdown with Craig Moore and the guys for Fox Sports. And I was speaking about that, and I said I wish I did probably give him the time, and then, but that's the way the job is splatters, as they say, innit?
That's the way
It's football. And then at the time I made the right choice because I was my pals and but hey ho. But he done great.
Mum make mistakes with different things like that, don't you? You just make a decision that you've got to live by it.
We'll be interested to see how things pan out for him this season at Spurs, because I mean they're 15th. So you can, as much as anybody who maybe wants to defend Postecoglou with the injuries and all that stuff, 15th is still.
I know,
it's a bit of a low for Spurs, that isn't it?
But 11 players out is a.
I know.
It's a lot.
It's a hell of a lot, especially.
They're now blaming
his intensity.
Intensity, and all that. He's too a lot of nonsense. But they're now saying down there, the press being what they are down there, down south, they're now trying to stir it up that Brendan's going there and he's coming back. A lot of nonsense. What a lot of nonsense.
That's an interesting one.
Aye, they're saying that's what's happening. And Brendan was down in London. Well, he's been down there for a weekend or something, and all of a sudden he's doing donkey. Put two and two together and come up.
I wonder how Celtic fans are dragged to that. Postecoglou coming back. Let us know.
I think let us know, yeah, but I think you've got to listen, you've got to say Brendan's going to do more in Europe than what Ange will.
Yeah, but also we're getting ahead of ourselves a wee bit,
No, I'm just saying what the English press are like. They're just jumping the bandwagon, so it's not going to happen, that's for sure.
So can't talk to Charlie Miller without talking about David Beckham and the boots. You didn't even know this story until fairly recently.
Didn't know it, no.
So for anyone who doesn't know this, that famous goal from the halfway line against Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Neil Sullivan, Scotland goalkeeper, was in goals.
Typical.
And Beckham scored from the halfway line or just inside the zone half, and he was wearing Charlie Miller's boots. How did that come about?
It was me and Gazza at Rangers were sponsored by Adidas. And obviously they were trying to get Beckham on board, and he was a size 8 like me, and then they shipped a pair of my Adidas Charlie down to him. I think they taken all the magic out of you after that, I think. But I scored for halfway line, and a few years later, I think it was 2001 or 2002, he brought his book out and he mentions it in the book. And then Jim White phones me for Sky Sports on a Monday morning. We'd been out on a Sunday night with Dundee United. Shock. And 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, Jim White's phoned and says, "Hi Charlie, Jim White here." And I'm going, "Aye, good one." I hung the phone up. And then he phones back again. I'm going, "What is it? Who is this?" And he's going, Charlie, it's Jim White for Sky Sports here." And I'm going, "All right, Jim, how are you?" He goes, "Aye, David Beckham's brought his book out and he said it was your boots who scored the goal for him inside his own half." I says, "Aye, no worries, Jimmy. Could have done that with a pair of wellies on, so good on him, whatever, right?" Just try to get rid of my hangover here at this point. But aye, it was a good story.
Did you ever speak to Beckham about it?
No. I want him back now, but he's got him in his he's got him in
a
cabinet where he won his football academies. So aye.
Surprising that he wore it in a game, because normally you get boots to try training all week.
Probably could have spent like that. Put them on, we'll give him £1.
Aye.
So,
Charlie nothing.
Nah, give Charlie nothing.
But also, so that's a good question for a Philistine, a non-footballer like myself, right? Would you ever wear a brand new pair of boots for 90 minutes in a game? Would
Well,
you
they're so soft now.
Is it different? It's not like you wouldn't have blisters on them.
No.
Nah, but you would always kind of train with him first. Train with him first, and then so you maybe have trained for a couple of days with him or whatever, and then get slagged for his teammates for wearing my Charlie.
Aye.
There was new boots come out when we tried. Me and Paul got offered them. It was kangaroo skin or something. Can't remember what the maker them were.
Was it not the Predators? And it was Craig Johnson.
No, it wasn't Adidas. No, it was something else.
Might have been kangaroos then.
Me and Paul tried them, and I was like, they're too soft. They are now. They're so soft at the back. And I thought there's no protection in them.
Yeah.
I mean, that was way back then, so I went back to my Puma Kings.
Then you get tackled.
I know. You
You didn't have Charlie in your boots, no?
That's right.
Charlie, where?
That's
unfair. I'd say the start episodes to bring that one up.
That's what my book.
Yeah.
That's what my book's
Called
called.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well.
I've got a book out years ago, and my book's called The Proper Charlie. And my mate phones me up and he says, "What are you naming your book that for?" I'm going, "What? What's up with it?" And it goes, "Oh, you're an idiot."
Aye.
So
I know.
That went down quite well.
Oh dear. So another funny story too is when you were playing in Norway and you get sort of pranked. What was the programme called? Remember?
Punked. It was Scandinavian Punked or something like that. And I used to be.
So this is a bit
You
like
were
a
the
kind
main
of
man, weren't you?
candid camera type thing.
I was the boys. I got on great with the boys in Norway. They were great lads, and me, Robbie Winters, was there, and Cattle Guntwright, you played with Aberdeen, the girl with Robbie, and I was welcomed. They were great lads, but I was the hundreds things from my mother's shoes to the grun and all that, and Martin Andreasen, he'd have one of these Harley Davidsons. Martin, great lad as well. Martin played with Blackburn. He was a Norwegian captain. And he'd buy these Harley Davidsons, and he'd leave his helmet out of the Harley Davidson. I'd put yogurt and squashed up bananas in his helmet and that, and then he'd put it on. It'd go out his seat and that. Miller. I was actually in the gym, and the kit man came down and said to me, "Charlie, there's somebody taking your motorbike up there." And I'm going, "What are you talking about?" So I got up, and there's these two guys with FBI or Norwegian, whatever, police. And they're going, I believe this was involved in an armed robbery the night before, or the night before that. And I went, well, I wasn't driving it. My missus said it, so I just came back for Spain. I think you were in Spain with the team because you go to Marbella and La Manga for pre-season training. So I'm saying, I think my wife is driving that, but they opened the back door and they pull a knife about that size out and a ski mask on. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I think I need a lawyer. But so I'm going, what's happening here? So there's a guy handcuffed next to the police motor. And I went, was it him that done it? So I'm standing there, I'm going, I've not got an idea what's happening here. So this motor comes round, and I shit myself, man. My pants joined the brownies. And a black motor came speeding round the corner. A guy's got a ski mask on, and that wee guy who's handcuffed goes and jumps in the window and shouts, "Charlie, tell him nothing," and it speeds away. And I'm like, what's happening here? So the motor speeds away, the police come at him and they're going, what does it mean, Charlie, tell him nothing? I'm going, I think I need a lawyer. So it was funny. Brilliant. It was, and the boys have all come out, and there's cameras here and there's cameras up there.
When did you click?
When they come out with an Oscar for me. So that was funny. But they say the presenter guy said, "Charlie Miller from Aberdeen." I'm going, no chance for Aberdeen. But the Aberdeen folk wouldn't want that either. But it was funny, and it was a good 2 year there, good people and
brilliant.
Good time.
So you look back in your career, so loads of clubs, loads of success. Any regrets?
Hunners. You can't look back now, but that's the thing. But obviously, playing with Rangers was the greatest time of my life, and breaking through at 17 was amazing. I get 30 grand for my debut, so that gets spent wisely. So I gave my wee grand 10 grand to go to Australia to see my aunt and that. I put 10 grand in my pension, which is probably worth about $2 bob now. And then I did piss the other 10 grand up against the wall, but that's what you do when you're young and enjoyed it and bought new clays. Arsenal said to me, make sure you buy new clays, because I was from Castle, didn't have $2 bob, and that was it. So it was great, and obviously.
Was it quite sad to leave?
It was very sad to leave, especially the way it came about, but.
Well, how did it come about? I mean.
Well, it was under Advocate, but what I should have done better with Walter. I should have focused more. I thought I'd made it, and I hadn't really. You still had to work hard every day, and you want to improve, going to gym and things like that, but I wasn't really a gym person. But even just doing wee small weights or whatever, I should have been. But it was hard.
Dedicated.
Yeah, 100%. I was dedicated right up until I made it. Really was, and then. But so when we'd go a night out, it was a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So, for instance, Craig Moore was over for Australia. He had his pals were the Rangers players, so he could stay in on the Wednesday. Whereas I'm for Castlemilk, I went up to see my mates in the Castlemilk on the Wednesday, and then we'd have another bevy, and then that was it. So, I've loved playing the Rangers up. It was the greatest time of my life, but I should have been more professional, definitely. But we signed some great players, and it's not an easy thing to do. Yeah. When I look back on it now, I had to be more dedicated, as you say. But
taking a leaf out of Frank's book.
Oh,
Yeah, somebody told me that.
No, but it was silly, stupid young boy mistakes. And
But what I love is that now, your academy is going great guns. You get loads of...
Many have you got now?
I've got 160 kids. I think we've got 16, 17, maybe more teams now.
I've got 100.
Probably 16 teams, 17 teams, and it's great. My coaches are great, my club secretary great. And,
so how does it work then? Are they playing against other teams and that kind of thing?
The older ones, this under 16s, they play 11-a-sides, obviously. They play league games now. The younger ones and the 2012s play 11-a-sides. But the younger ones can't play league games until kind of March. That's what it is. So we've got a few friendlies a night for the age group I can take, 2014s. So Mondays and Friday nights we train. But Torre Glen, it's a great facility, but it costs an absolute bomb. So we're really trying to get our own facility. We really need to do that. And that's 13, 14 years we've been going now. So it's about time we try and get there. Obviously need a lot of help for kind of people and maybe funding and that. But it's difficult.
Well, maybe there's somebody watching just now who might want to get involved and help out. But I think it's a bit of an issue.
Glen indoor, is it then?
So what happens, I've got half a door. I've got half of the indoor pitch for the younger ones, the babies and that. Then I've got full pitch 1, full pitch 2, and I've got one pitch or two pitches a night on pitch 3. So, and they're all 7-a-side pitches, so you get charged by the 7-a-side pitch, like 40 quid per 7 per hour. So it's a lot of money.
And it's also presumably the kids who are playing, their parents are having to pay for,
fees, because we need to pay. We need to pay monthly,
which is understandable. But it's becoming a kind of expensive sport for working class families as well.
It is definitely. But Torre Glen, like, if we don't pay, we don't get to play it.
And it's a great facility, so they're getting to play in the best surface.
And we're going great. We've always got good kids. Pro youth take them, and then it's up to them what they decide to do with the kids. We bring them on for 5, but that's the thing that annoys me. So we get kids at 5 or 6 year old, bring them in. Some haven't played before, then they become really good players, maybe 10, 11, and your Rangers, your Celtics, or Motherwells, whoever it is, come and take them, and then maybe they have them for a year or two and then Rangers or Celtic come in and take them off Motherwell or Hamilton, for instance.
They get money.
And Motherwell get compensation, and we get nothing. We don't get anything at all. Which
you're giving them very initial grinding, and you're getting them kind of...
And I also believe that the kids gone for maybe playing with 2 teams. Some kids play a Saturday and a Sunday. So they're going for training with me on a Monday and a Friday. And then for their other team on a Saturday they play with, and no training, and training with them on a Tuesday and Thursday. When they go pro youth, they train twice a week and maybe only get 20 minutes to Sunday. So they still be able to play with their... be able to play with their pals and still have fun and then still enjoy it. I think that's where we've taken a lot of it away. But we say that to the clubs and they say, but we're going to really work hard on them. I say, we've been working hard with them for the last 5 or 6 years.
Ridiculous.
So it has to come both ways, but that's the way it is. And I don't personally think pro youth is the greatest for bringing players through.
Not the greatest machine to get them into.
And I think the reserve league, doing away with reserve leagues, were worth
terrible.
Because I was playing against guys like Billy Abercrombie, who had proper granny. I was a 16-year-old boy playing against guys like that, playing with guys like Duncan Ferguson, playing at Ibrox, playing with Ian Durant came back for injury, playing against guys like Paul McStay or people like that came back for injury, playing at Parkhead, playing at Ibrox for the home games when Rangers were playing away. Playing at Tynecastle, so you're getting used to playing in the stadiums against men. Unfortunately now, the 18-year-olds are still playing against the 18-year-olds. So...
And when they are getting, and then they're getting used very sparingly,
I came back, the reserve team, I came back for an injury at Celtic second team I was there, and I was playing at Ibrox Wednesday afternoon, never forget, it was torrential rain. There was 35,000 people there, Celtic rain. Big Duncan was coming back for an injury. And I'm playing, unbelievable. 35,000.
That's scored a hat-trick in 8 minutes in that game.
Aye.
That's true.
Scored a hat-trick against Gordon Marsh in the first 8 minutes.
No, it wasn't the one I was playing in.
So,
we Barry Megman in the first minute.
I say that was easy anyway.
Aye, but he get close pulled. I just gave him one of them right in the
clothesline, did he?
He get right in the throat. I says, "You're right, wee man."
Wee man could play.
Aye, he was playing.
But going back to my time when you said how did I leave, I'd signed a 2-year contract under Advocaat, and I liked Advocaat. He wasn't there. He had his own the way you wanted to run, and that's perfectly fine. So I signed a 2-year contract under him. I said, as long as I get a chance, if I get a chance and then you keep me in, then I gave me a fair crack at a whip. He said, of course. So I was on the bench every game. I was getting on for 25 minutes earning good money. You could just have sat there. And then it got to December. I think we played the Scottish Cup tie in about late December, 28th of December, something like that, against Stenhousemuir. And I didn't have a great game. We won 2-0. It was Stenhousemuir at Ibrox. You expected to win 6 or 7 or whatever. And it wasn't the greatest game. It was horrible. But then we played on the Wednesday night, and I played again against Dundee. At Dens, I scored the first 2 goals, I think it was. We won 4-0, got a man of the match. I was delighted. Then we play Aberdeen the Saturday at Victoria, and I go home for a minute. And I thought, I need to play. I want to play. I didn't want to leave Rangers, but I want to play football. Yeah. And as I said, I could have sat there, taking the good wages, taking the win bonuses and the appearance money. But I wanted to play. I wanted to play, and then they didn't have a transfer window then, and I went and loaned to Leicester in March. And I got injured against Newcastle, and I had to get back up the road at the end of the season, and then I got a letter through my door like Derek McInnes did. I wasn't happy, but Derek McInnes had played in the cup final for the Rangers to win a treble in the Advocaat's first year. And Derek McInnes had played in the cup final. Rod Wallace scored in the 81st minutes at 1-0. And me and Derek McInnes got a letter through our door, signed off by David Murray from Advocate, with to report with the kids for pre-season, and they'll be changing them. And I thought, bloody hell, that's not a way. I've been there since I was 11-year-old. I thought, especially David Murray, who knew what a Rangers family was supposed to be like and how you treat the boys. And I went back to Ibrox, and I was going up the marble staircase, and the Advocate came out and goes, "Hey Charlie, how are you?" I said, "Oh, fuck off, you wee baldy," or whatever, excuse my language. And then he's like, "What the hell?" And then he phoned John Viola, my agent, JV, and he said to Jack, "What's up with Charlie?" And JV said, "You don't understand, but you've done. You broke his heart practically." And I see if Advocate came to me and said, "Charlie, you know my plans, man." I'd go brilliant. 100%. I'd go, no problem. And I'll try and get away. It's simple. I understand the situation, because there was some great players there, obviously. Wee Barry just broke in, was doing incredible with the Alberts, with Giovanni. Neil McCann had been signed. And I think that season he'd just signed, I don't know if Claudio had just signed, I think Claudio Rayner just come in as well. So I understand he fancied other people, but just a wee bit of respect. I've been there since I'm 11-year-old, and
then coming out and trying to make it funny, and
so
I would have been the same.
But and I got on with him, and when I see him, I spoke to him and that, but it was just disappointing. That was the disappointing thing. But as I say, I did make a lot of mistakes at Rangers through my career. But you're a young kid and you don't know. But it was still the greatest time of my life, definitely.
And your next big game's going to be in Dubai, feeding Frank. You know those box-to-box runs.
Donuts.
Oh, there'll be a lot of movement in that pitch.
You'll be excited about it. So
started training.
5 days?
Started training.
Do you fancy a game of fives again then?
No.
At some point?
No.
Still, I've been saying
my name gets saved, my knee.
Aye. We need to get a bit of football play before you go to Dubai, you know?
I know. Did I stand?
Did that the day before.
Did a wee run.
But Dubai's a tremendous trip. It has been, I said, 14 years.
I'm working, so it's all right.
Aye. He's working, But incredible trip.
I'm working on my tan.
And you'll be flying with Emirates and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, speak to them about sponsor on the podcast. And all.
Aye, I've said my boys in Emirates are doing great over there, so we'll see.
Aye.
Over there. It'll be good to see my son as well, so that'll be good.
Well, we need to, so that's March, is it? No.
March the 5th. March. It's so anybody in Dubai watching this, we're coming over.
Aye.
Actually, seriously, do you know what date the game is?
It's
Saturday. We go over there on Thursday. We get Thursday off. Friday's golf, and then the dinner
at night,
and then the game. Imagine having a game after a dinner.
So the football Scotland England legends.
Yeah, and some people pay to play.
Yeah. Can any of them watch it? Can you watch it on YouTube? Is it streamed or anything like that?
No, but they don't really advertise. I think it's just kind of the players, maybe like the guys who come to the dinner at night. Can have a lot of them will pay to play, and then the guys who sponsor the dinners, things like that, or if they've bought tables, they'll kind of bring their families along. It's
a big family thing.
It used to be, see the first couple of years. My word, it was
a standard.
Standard was top notch. It was how we beat. We won the first year 3-2. How we win that game, I'll never know. They had Sheringham, me, Trevor Sinclair, big Carlton Palmer was funny. Just calling the referee a sweaty sock and walks off the pitch. Lee Sharp, did I say Lee Sharp?
Aye, Sharp
was playing. Paul Walsh, wee John Beresford. And then Scotland, we had John Watt. What a legend! What a lovely man he was playing. Still.
We went out there, Charlie. I don't know if it's still the same. We went out there. I think it was the first time JV done it on Viola,
right,
and he took us all out there. It was Celtic and Rangers though,
Aye.
and he took us out, and it was Gazza, Roberts.
Gazza no break his neck.
No, they done something. It was we went over there, and honest to God, it was brilliant. But he had his own business class. So it was first come, first serve. So I said, right away, yeah. So I'm in business class. All the boys in business class. The goalie didn't know if he could go, and Robbo. So they were last, so they had to get put in cattle class, right? So they're in. So you can imagine me, I've just got him. So the goalie's not happy, as you can imagine. So I've shut the curtain. I've got to be a guy to put the gloves on, all that kind of stuff. And I've bit a grape in half, and I've drunk a wee glass of port. I've drunk half of it, and I says, go and take that to the Mr. Gorham. Tell that for Mr. Maccabee. So he's in there, and he calls it raging. He's going, this trip smells like Fenianism.
Oh, brilliant.
Best quote ever. We went over there and it was great because we were all drinking and you can get the game and it was brilliant. But it was a proper game.
Oh,
it was the Celtic and Rangers. It was one of them. We had to go for it, you know, and it was good fun.
Oh, aye,
really good fun.
Great place.
And my first trip over there.
Well, after it, the first episode after it, they gave us a match report. And
I will do, but they
scored.
didn't. There was a lot of press over there the first time and they said to me, you ever been here before? And I'm saying, no, never. Me, Joe Miller, sitting beside me, says, we come out here with Celtic.
That was a blurrer.
Was it pre-season or end of season? She says, no, it was end of season. I said, that's why.
Right, well, that's just about all we've got
That's
time for.
it, the time has been brilliant.
A wee reminder again,
Flew
hit
in
the
again.
subscribe button, please
Yes.
follow us, and I hope you're enjoying it. We're getting more cracking guests coming up.
The numbers are great, but just
keep hitting the
subscribe.
button, and we'll continue to get fantastic guests like Charlie Miller.
Cheers, lads. Thank
It's
you
been an
very much.
absolute
Thank you very
blast.
much.
Really
Thanks,
enjoyed
Right to
it.
watch all about the Gers podcast with me and Derek Ferguson in the morning.
He's doing that.
I mean Derek do one every Tuesday night.
Well, there you go. There's
Ah,
a plug.
Yeah.
A lot of
You send him
intelligence in that one.
You send me an invoice for that plug. Right, thanks again, Charlie.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
again next
Thank
week
you very much.
for
Cheers,
another
buddy.
episode of Let Me Be Frank.
Cheers, guys.